evening and welcome to the Midnight Sages podcast. This is Ruben. I'm here with Wade
What's up, guys? It's Wade.
and Nick.
Hey, how's it going, Nick?
And today we're going to be talking about healing. What's your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
There's different types of healing. There's um, healing from a loss of a loved one, and then there's healing in a relationship or a breakup, and then there's healing from I guess growing up. Might have some trauma there. Um, but I'm not experienced with the healing from growing up. I don't think any of us are.
I think to make this a little easier and make it a little more general, we should just do like a relationship, healing from a relationship.
Okay, yeah, we all have experience in that.
I agree. I'm good with that.
All right. So, do you think you guys can ever really get over an ex?
I think you can move on and you could get over it eventually, but there's always things that you're going to learn from and glean from that relationship.
Yeah, I think you can get over a person, but I mean, I think like the stuff that the trauma maybe or experiences you went through, uh, it would kind of linger a little bit in your.
Now, I don't know how to word this one, but looking back in your past relationships, do you miss the person or the relationship or the companionship, if at all?
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't think I miss any of
Like
that.
me, I sometimes I miss having somebody around. Not necessarily a relationship, just
So that would be like having a companion.
companion. Yes.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I could see that for me. Like I miss that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I get my companionship from like friends. I think we talked about this before, like where I feel like I don't have the need to have somebody. I think maybe because I have my kids and then friends. But I know it's different from having that companion when you come home and you have that I don't know. It is different, but I think right
Yeah,
now I'm not missing that.
yeah, like it's different though. Like if you don't have kids and you don't have as a big supportive friend group, then yeah, you're kind of alone. And I think we talked about being alone too. Like it's what do you say, Ruba? Is kind of like it's addicting.
It gets addicting.
It
Yeah.
gets addicting. Yeah,
Is
I agree. I agree with that part.
Yeah.
It is addicting because
It is
after a
addicting.
while you're just like, I don't need anybody. I can do this. But
And the harder thing is like when you're set in your own ways
Yes.
and you don't want to budge or move or you don't want that interrupted. Because I know I don't want to be told what to do and what time I'm going to be home and who I'm going out with and how long it's going to be and who's all there and the list just goes on and on and on. I don't miss that. I don't.
what about you, Rube?
Honestly, I don't know. I was gonna take a drink of coffee right now, and my brain just went black.
Yeah.
See, well, for me, I have a very small group of friends. You all know me. I keep everything to myself. I have a very small circle, and I think that's just from me being, like I've said before, I'm real introverted. I'm real shy. I'm real quiet. I'm real careful with who I interact with, and that leads to a lot of like loneliness because of it. And every now and then it's like, dang, I wish I had somebody a little more. I wish I was a little more open to talk to people, because sometimes I'm there at the house, like, well, I'm just staring off into a TV that's turned off because I have nobody to talk to. And yeah, I put myself in that position because I don't go out there, I don't talk to people, I don't reach out to anybody. But like we are just saying, that loneliness is kind of addicting. So sometimes I do miss having a relationship. Sometimes I don't. Just like Nick was saying, I don't want that headache of everybody. What are you doing? Who are you with? Why aren't you home yet? But then it is nice to come home with somebody.
Yeah, but like I think Nick was saying the other time too, like you don't want to come home to somebody like that's nagging also too though.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true.
You're
That
like
is true.
you get home, I mean, you know what you went through. And I kind of experienced that too, but like I don't know if you want to share that.
No, it's just I think it's normal and it's natural, for to have some kind of nagging. At the same time, though, it's just I'm not in a position, and I think maybe that's just a trauma, I guess. I don't want to cause um I don't want to be in that mindset where I feel like I'm doing something wrong when it's something totally normal, or like if I want my own time, I don't want to feel wrong about my own time, and I think, but I felt like I need to heal from just being in that mindset, I guess you could say.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
but like I mean, what I was referring to was just like coming home from work, and a lot of times you just want peace. Like you just want to come back, wind down, drink a beer, and wait until. But I mean, you could either walk through the door and start hearing it, and you're like, oh
I
man, like
think
I
I think
just
that depends on the partner too.
yeah.
Like if you had a partner who knew, okay, I'm going to give you 15 to 20 minutes to unwind, to get your mind right, I think that'd be different. I think that depends on the person. Some person might want to walk in and start talking about their day and venting their frustrations. Some people might like that. Some people might not. But I know for me, and I'm pretty sure with Nick, we don't want that person coming in and giving us 1,000 things at once. Problems, talking. We want just peace for a little bit.
Like when you have, got mandated and you had to stay and you were just talking
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, let me. I mean, we're gonna
yeah,
see how much money you made then.
exactly. You don't want to come home to that. You want somebody. You want pretty much you want trust. You know. So how do you heal from a breakup? What steps would you guys say to take?
Um, the first step I would recommend is from healing from a breakup is just let the hurt. You got to accept the hurt, like let it happen, and it's okay to be mad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry, and it's okay to cry. Like whatever you got to do. I say don't avoid it, because if you avoid it, it's just going to prolong the healing process. I think you have
And
to,
you just gotta take your licks.
yeah, you just got to accept it and go through it, because if you try to avoid it, it's just going to prolong. It's gonna be a long process.
That is a good point because with me, with my previous relationship, it took me almost a year to start feeling right, and that's when I started working on myself. After when I said, okay, enough is enough, I'm ready to start feeling better. I got back in the gym. I started praying more. I started dieting. I'm trying to lose that weight that I'd gained from that relationship.
I mean, going off of, I agree with what Nick said. It's like just accepting it, but then I think the next step would be like just how to learn to love yourself.
Yeah, that's weird, because I have um don't avoid it. Work on yourself. Have some your own time. Pick up a hobby, um, and take it light, because it's not that serious. We're here for a short time in this life, and we may think something's huge and big, but it's really not that big. We make it bigger than what it really is.
Yeah, just like the simple things as being thankful for waking up the next morning, having your cup of coffee, or just texting a friend, just the little things that it all it all adds up.
And then just making goals for yourself. I think setting goals, like you would, you would you'd make a goal to get out, to pick up a hobby, and then you would go hiking, you would do golfing, you've done stuff like that.
See, I think my thing for me was just being outdoors and uh, keeping busy. I guess
Mhm.
like connecting with nature, and also like um, like Rube said, praying more, and the spiritual side too.
I think that's what helped me out the most is a prayer because I started feeling better inside, which helped me feel better about everything else.
I think it's just like a hump. You got to get over that, like the sting of it,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then it just gets better. Like I said, like don't avoid it, accept the healing process. I think that's the biggest thing. You know,
Okay. So here's a good one. Do you think it? How do I word this now? Do you think that saying is true? Is to get over somebody, you need to get under somebody?
for me, that would not be the case.
No, I don't think so.
Mm,
I,
yeah.
I think it just I think it just make things worse, and then one up the other thing is uh you're screwing somebody else up too.
Exactly. Yeah. Because now you bring someone else involved, a third party, and then they're gonna catch feelings.
Okay.
And
So, well, not necessarily jumping into another relationship, but just having multiple partners, one night stands, if you will.
that wouldn't be a good idea.
No,
No, because you're not healing. You're just masking it. You know what I mean?
that's what I was gonna say too. Is you're just prolonging it. You're getting that fix right away, and you're just pushing everything back. All the healing you're trying to do, you're pushing that back.
From experience, yeah, that's I gotta say that was what I was told. Like when I first from someone I looked up to, that was that was his response. It was like he went through the a divorce, and that's what he said. Exact words, like you know how to get over someone, get under someone else. So I looked up to him and tried it. No, it didn't work. Just kept uh kept prolonging until I guess I realized like, oh shit, it's there's I'm not healed yet. So I mean that's just from experience. This was years ago.
I think with that too is it's your mindset. Like, are you the type of person that just were you all in on this relationship? How was your relationship? If you were all in on it, if it was still new, still fresh, then I don't think getting under somebody would be good advice. But if you already checked out of that relationship, if things were already going bad, then yeah, I think you already started healing because you weren't in that relationship 100% anymore.
Yeah, I could see that.
What do you think, gentlemen? Does time heal all wounds?
I think it varies. Like it could be days, it could be months, it could be years, it could be a lifetime of healing. Especially if something's traumatic or something is imprinted in your psychological thinking and stuff like that. Like it could take a lifetime. Like does time? Yeah, time helps. Time helps out a lot.
Yeah, I think with healing though, you're still going to be guarded. You're still going to have yourself guarded for the next one. That they're
So
going to have to break down that barrier to get to you because of that healing. It's kind of like a scar. You know, when you get a scar on your arm, your leg, whatever, it builds that extra layer of protection so you don't get cut as easily.
Yeah, but how do you guys like if you are jumping into another relationship like that? Would you guys be open about it to let your partner know, like, hey, this is what I went through?
I think you have to be open with them so they know what they're getting into. Especially if it's a recent breakup, then you're not completely healed from it. You might be bringing on that extra luggage, that extra baggage to this next relationship, and that's not fair to the new one.
Okay, what if you guys are seeing somebody and then they kind of trigger something that you used to deal with? How would you guys respond to that? Like, would that, if it triggers you, would that be something that you totally healed from, or is it trauma, or is it something that you're experienced and you know what to look for? What would How would you guys handle that if you were being triggered? Would you consider that healing?
Well, I mean, that comes back to what I was just saying about being guarded. So, yeah, you're going to be triggered on that. So, the thing is, you have to take account that this isn't the same person you're with. You might go about things a little differently. Say, hey, you know what? This is what and I hate using exes as examples when you're in a relationship. Oh, my ex used to do this, my ex used to do that. I hate that. Because you're not with that person for a reason.
But we do it.
But we do it. I try not to, and I honestly I don't think I've ever compared any of my relationships with my previous relationships. I don't say, well, my ex did this, my ex did that. I may think it, but I've never came out and said that to my whoever I'm with at the time. So with that being said, you just need to know your audience. This person isn't the same person I was with in that relationship, so I'm gonna, be a little more tactful with how I say things. Say, you know what, my ex did this, I didn't like it. You know, can we work through this? Can we talk about it?
So, question: if they are talking about that, let's say you're talking with someone, they constantly bring up like, oh, my ex did this, my ex used to say this, and this is what they used to do. This is pretty much telling you like their trigger points. How do you deal with that? Or do you think they're not fully healed or ready to take on
Or you just
our
don't want to deal
relationship?
with that again.
Well, it depends on how they bring it up. Now, are they bringing it up like, oh, well, you did this just like my ex did, so this is the type of person you are? Or they're saying, hey, I didn't like what you just did because that's what my ex used to do. Are they already accusing you of doing things that you haven't done yet? Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I guess it does come down to communication and how the two of you communicate and how you guys both see.
I think that is the key word right there is communication. You know, you do need to communicate with your new significant other.
See, to me, that's just too much work. You gotta communicate. You gotta talk. You gotta say this is what do this, do that, don't do this. It's just too much. It's just too much.
But
Yeah, but
I
that's
think
that's a part of growing in life and learning, especially a significant other, another person in your life that you want to get involved with.
I think that would come in the courting process.
I would say so. Yeah.
That okay, I'm going to learn you. It's kind of like an interview. We all know that first week or two, even month, is just an interview of dates.
It's all questions.
It's all questions. Yeah, you're figuring out whether you're going to be compatible or not. We all know that. And so, you know what? We should come up with a form for first dates, like an interview. So how old are you? Where are you from?
What's your favorite color? Let's get this shit all over with. All right.
Or just have all the answers. Like this is what I like. This is where blah blah blah. This is my favorite color.
An application. There you go. Just an application. Here's my resume.
Yeah, here's my resume.
Here's
You like
here's
it?
what I don't want to talk about. Yeah, I mean, but I think that does come with healing, though. Like you start, like you said, Nick, you start when you feel ready to. You don't rush into the healing process. You don't rush under somebody. Unless that's what your mindset is. Like I can tell from us talking, our mindset's not. We need to rush into another relationship. We need to rush under somebody. We take your time, figure out who you are, what you like to do, because when you're in a relationship, you do start taking on the personality of your significant other, and you need to clear that out. It's kind of like a reset, like a reset on your phone, a soft reset. You heal yourself that way. Figure out who you are. And that concludes this episode of the Midnight Sages podcast. I hope you enjoyed that midnight ride. This is Ruben.
This is Wade.
This is Nick.
And until next time, be safe out there.